Hello everyone, this is part 3 for the class 10 geography chapter first, that is resource and development. In this part I'll teach you about the land resource. I think you all know about the land. Land is very important natural resource as it supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, various economic activities, transport and communication system, etc. that you had studied in your previous classes. Okay, now I'll tell you India's geographical area comprises 43% plain land that is used for the agriculture and industry also, 27% forest and plateaus also the source of the fossil fuels and minerals, and 30% of mountains also use source of the minerals, and rivers, and provides the sites for the tourism and ecological aspects. So, land utilization in India, land resources are used for the following purpose. First one is the forest that I have told you, that is 27% of the land not available for cultivation, uh, that is one barren and wasteland. Second one is the land put to the non-agricultural uses, that is used for the buildings, roads, factories, etc. And third one is the other uncultivated land, excluding the fallow land. What is the fallow land? I'll tell you afterward. Permanent pasture land or grazing land, land under the miscellaneous trees, crops and groves not included in the net zone area, cultivable wasteland left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. Okay. Cultivable wasteland means left uncultivable, that is left for the more than 5 years, 5 agricultural years. Now come to the fallow land. What is the fallow land? Current fallow and other than for current fallow. What is the current fallow? Left without uncultivable for one or less than one agriculture year, and the other than current fallow means left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agricultural years. Means current fallow, that is left without cultivated for one or less than one agriculture year, and other than current fallow means that is left uncultivated for past 1 to 5 agriculture years. Okay, what is the net sown area? Net sown area means area sown more than once in an agriculture years, that is cultivated more than one time in a one agriculture area. So I think you have understood what is the land utilization in our country. Land use pattern in India also have the two factors, physical factor and human factor, that I'll tell you in the next part. Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, this is part 4 for the class 10th geography chapter first, that is resource and development. In this part I'll tell you the general land use categories 1960 to 61 and general land use categories in 2008 to 9. Means here we have the comparison between 1961 to 2008-9. Okay. The first one is the forest. It was 18.11% in 1960 to 61, and in 2008-9 it was 22.78%. Means it increased. Okay. The second one is the barren and uncultivable wasteland. That was 12.1% in 60-61, and in 8-9 it was 8.6%. Means it decreased. Okay. Third one is the area under non-agriculture uses. That was 4.95% in 60-61, and now it has been increased to 5.57%. Next one is the permanent pasture and grazing land. Permanent pasture grazing land was 4.71% in 60-61, and now it is 3.38%, means it decreased. And the next one, area under mixed tree crops and groves, that was 1.50% in 60-61, and now it is only 1.11% in 2008-9. Okay, next is the cultivable wasteland. Cultivable wasteland, that was 6.23% in 60-61, and now it is 4.17% in 2008-9, means it is also decreased. And the next one is the fallow other than current fallow. Fallow other than current fallow, I have told you in the last part. So it was 3.50% in 60-61, and now it is 3.37% in 2008 and 9, means it is also decreased. And the next is current fallow. Current fallow, it was 3.73% in 60-61, and now it is 4.76% in 2008-9. And the last one is the net sown area. I have also told you about the net sown area. So it was 45.26% in 1960-61, and now in 2008-9 it is 46.24%, means this also increased in 2008-9. Okay, I think you have understood about this land use categories and this comparison between 1960-61 to 2008-9. Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, this is part 5 for the class 10th geography chapter 1st, that is resource and development. In this part I'll teach you about the soil as a resource. As you all know, soil is the most important renewable natural resource. It is the medium of the plant growth and living system which supports many types of living organisms, and it takes many years to form. So here we have some kinds of the soil. The first one is the forest and mountainous soil. Second one is the alluvial soil. The third is red and yellow soil, black soil, laterite soil, and desert or arid soil. Students, here we have a map by which we can find the accurate location where this particular soils can be found. The first one is the forest and mountainous soil. Student, you can see the uppermost part of our map is covered by the forest and mountainous soil. It is also known as the Jammu Kashmir part of our country. The second is the alluvial soil. You can see the alluvial soil that covers the area of Punjab, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and parts of Gujarat also. The next is the red and yellow soil. You can see the red and yellow soil covers the area of the southern part of our country, that is known for the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Odisha. The next is the black soil. It is very important soil. It is also known as the Regur soil, and it is very useful for the cotton. So the black soil covers the area of the Deccan Plateau, that is also known as the Malwa Plateau, and black soil also covers the parts of Gujarat. Next one is the laterite soil. Laterite soil covers the Karnataka and West Bengal and some parts of the eastern India. Next is the desert and arid soil. Desert and arid soil, as its name defined itself, that is the desert. So we can find this soil in the deserty area that is known as Rajasthan, parts of Gujarat, parts of Pakistan also. Hello everyone, this is part 6 of the geography chapter 1, that is resource and development. In this part I am going to tell you about the different kinds of features and characteristics of the soils. In our last part I had told you the classification of the different kinds of soil and their location with the help of the map. So students, in this part see the features of the soil. In this connection, the first soil is alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is very important soil of our country, and this is the most widespread soil in India, which has been deposited by the important Himalayan river system, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, and it covers 45.6% of the total area. So the main features of this soil are: this soil is mostly found in river valleys of the northern plains, as I told you, are Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra strips in Gujarat and Rajasthan, in eastern coastal plains, in the deltas of peninsular river like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. The second feature is it is made up of silt, sand and clay, rich in nutrients like potash, phosphoric acid and lime. It is suitable for growing paddy, wheat, sugarcane and other cereal and pulse crop. And it's also known as the Bangar and Khadar. The newer form of this soil is known as the Khadar, and the older form of this soil is known as the Bangar. Okay, now come to the next soil, that is the black soil. Black soil is very important for soil for our country, and it is also called the cotton soil, because it is very useful for growing the cotton. So look the features of this soil. It is found in the Deccan Trap basalt region and is made up of the lava flows. This soil covers the plateaus areas of the Saurashtra, Maharashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and also lies along the valleys of the Godavari and Krishna rivers. It is rich in nutrients like calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, potash and lime, but poor in phosphoric content. Okay, now come to our next soil, that is red and yellow soil. It is red in color and covers 10.6% of India's total geographical area. The red color of this soil is due to diffusion of iron particles into crystalline and metamorphic rocks in low rainfall areas of the Deccan plateaus, that are eastern and southern parts. It turns yellow in its hydrate form. Our next soil is laterite soil. The word laterite has been derived from the Latin word that is later. The word laterite has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. It covers about 7.2% of the India's total geographical area. Now the feature: this soil has low humus content due to the microorganism getting destroyed due to high temperature. It is useful for growing coffee, tea, cashew nuts, cinchona. This soil is found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and hilly areas of the Odisha and Assam, etc. And our second last soil type of the soil is desert or arid soil. This soil covers about 4% of India's total geographical area. It is sandy in texture, red to brown in color and saline in nature. Now come to its features. It lacks humus and moisture due to dry climate and high temperature, and faster rate of the evaporation. It is useful for growing barley, wheat, cotton, maize, millet, and pulses. This soil is found in western parts of Rajasthan, northern Gujarat, and southern parts. And our last type of soil, that is forest and mountainous soil. Its texture varies with the mountain soil where it is formed. They are loamy and silt in valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. Due to lack of the forest cover in snow covered area of Himalaya, soil are acidic with low humus content. This soil is useful for cultivating spices